All right, we're back. Lock in. Season 2, Episode 3, Coffee with Coach. Here we go. Last week, Coach, wow. I have to tell a dirty little secret, okay? And I apologize, Coach.
Okay.
I did not come to the game on Friday night.
There was a lot of people that missed it. The weather was, spotty. It was a delay. There was a lot of stuff going on that kind of caused some people not to attend, so I understand.
I was at the compound and I was watching the weather, and my daughter, she's in the band. She plays the mellophone. That's kind of like a big trumpet, if you don't know what a mellophone is. They said that the band wasn't going to go out, and I was kind of happy, but I was kind of sad. And then I got up in the morning, and it was like Christmas morning. Because one thing I've learned about Coach Duke, every single team we play is the best team in the world. It's going to be a hard one this week. It's going to be a hard one next week. Whoa, this next team's going to be really good. But then it was like Christmas morning, 15-14, Coach. Let's give a little recap. Tell them about Clearwater Academy International.
It was one of those games, looking at the radar, we didn't know if we were going to be able to play. It had just, the storms kind of grew across the state, so we were watching it, monitoring it, and finally we got out, I think about 7:45, close to 8 was when kickoff actually happened. It was a very quick warm-up, but we knew our hands were full with this team. Again, they had played only teams that had played in state championship games or won the state championship prior, and they are that caliber of a team, and they were probably one of the bigger high school football teams that we've ever faced, with a lot of talent. But I was excited. I thought our energy was off the charts coming out. I thought our guys were focused and locked in and played with incredible energy. Defensively, we were lights out in the first half. We made enough plays offense to make it a 15-0 game to going into halftime, which I thought was, incredible. And then, the second half, we wanted to reset, and there was some, hats off to them. They did a really good job of making some big plays in the second half, and we were right there to finish the game, but just could not quite in some areas. We've talked about that all week, really having that killer instinct to finish games and not let them carry on like they did. But again, hats off to Clearwater Academy International. It's a really talented group. They kept fighting. They put together some good drives, and make a long story short, came down to an onside kick that they actually got. We weren't able to practice the onside recovery last week due to weather. We had planned on it all day Thursday, and we couldn't get out Thursday again due to typical weather in Florida in August and September. It's always about 50-50 in the afternoon. So make a long story short, they kicked an onside kick with I think about 40 seconds to go, and we're up 15-14, and they were able to get it. But then the next play, our defense stepped up once again, and Josh Alexander Felton, number 5, had a big interception on a screen play that they tried to run. That was it. We were able to go out there and take a knee to win the game on offense. But I thought our defense played lights out. I thought our offense did some really good stuff against one of the more talented defensive fronts we've seen since I've been at Edgewater. And so anytime you can find a way to get a win is great, but against the opponent like we played was pretty special. So there was a lot of mistakes that we made, but I thought our effort and our energy was pretty special in a weird game with a delay and bad weather and a team we've never played. So we'll take it, move to 2-0, and then get ready, of course, for the West Orange Warriors.
Awesome. I got one more question about that game, because I heard that one of Tom Cruise's daughters was a cheerleader, and I saw a picture of him coming on a speedboat across a lake, and someone told me it was Lake Silver. Was that Tom Cruise at the game?
I can't confirm or deny. I'm not sure. Once kind of game time happened, I kind of got locked in, but somebody did talk that he was coming to the game. I guess he was affiliated somehow with something. I don't know. I don't know all the details or how the rumor started, but if he did come on the boat across Lake Silver, we do have a dock here at Edgewater on beautiful Lake Silver. It's probably the prettiest property a school can be on. Right
the water,
here.
On the water.
On the water, right on Lake Silver, a beautiful lake where we have a lot of families live on that come to Edgewater High School. And then, so if he did, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's pretty awesome stuff. And we already kind of did a little Eagle spotlight. And I about this interception, because a D lineman intercepting the ball, I like it. I just was thinking about this while you were talking. I think that an interception might be my favorite play in football. It's exciting when an interception happens. It's like, whoa.
Right.
I think. But anybody you want to spotlight, Coach, or anything to add on to what's his name?
Josh Alexander Felton.
Alexander Felton.
I thought our entire defensive, across the board, our defense was special. I told him I think 80% of the time, 80% of the game, our defense played at a state caliber level. There was still a little, some corrections and stuff that we'd like to have back, a couple plays here and there, but the passion they played with, the intensity, the physicality. I thought the entire defensive line did a great job. Mylan Bowen, number 3, was really impressive on the defensive line. And then Cornelius Bass, number 33, 3 seniors that I just thought were lights out defensive line. Our 2 linebackers, Damon Troutman and number 12, and Solomon Tripline, number 7. Well, he's wearing 17, but he's going to be number 7 at linebacker. We're lights out. And our secondary made big plays, too, led by Kai Bates and Kyla Meadows and Trey Trey's last name. Trey Harris. Sorry, Trey Harris, our nickel. So, senior heavy defense that was lights out. Coach Joyce did a great job. Coach Dunstan, Coach T.R., Coach Whittick, Coach Hollahan, Coach Staten, all of our defensive coaches, man, hats off. Defense wins championships, and we had a championship caliber defensive team effort.
This year, you're supposed to have a real good one, right?
I think so. If we continue to get better and finish plays and finish, and get off the field on third down, I think it could be one of the better defenses we've had.
Coach don't like messing up. You saw it's hard to remember lots of names being a teacher. That's the first time I've ever seen his blood pressure change, his color change. He got a little redder. He was like, what?
Well, Trey Harris is he's a phenomenal player, leader for us, number 6.
It happens.
I don't know why I wanted to say Trey Edwards. Trey Harris is he's a great player, nickel for us as well.
Awesome. Opponent watch, Coach. West Orange Warriors. What are they coming in here, West Orange County, coming downtown? Talk to me about the Warriors.
Really good team. They've been a program that's been on the rise last 3-4 years. Remember Coach Granado was there for a couple of years, who was with us. And then, he left, but they didn't really miss a beat. But they continued to improve. They're really talented on the defense side of the ball. Their entire secondary are guys that have collegiate offers. They have a couple receivers that are legitimate collegiate receivers at the next level, and they got a quarterback that came all the way in from Chicago. Wow. So they transfer quarterback from Chicago. I think, it's a talented team. Coach Gino Thompson over there does a good job. They're going to be well coached. They lost to Apopka 14-7. That game could have gone either way. So they were in a battle with, of course, everyone knows Apopka Blue Darters. That was last week, and week 1 they put it on Oak Ridge pretty handily. So they're coming in 1-1, but again they could very easily be 2-0. We know we got our work cut out with us. This is a 8A school, I guess now called 4 Metro, with a lot of talent and coaches that know what they're doing.
You know what, Coach? It's time for X's and O's, and I'm going to start talking about it, and you can add on whatever you want. But I think this year, I'm going to say this live on the air, I think you got a playoff team this year. I think you got a team that's going to keep growing. If a defense is starting to play well, a defense filled with seniors, you got an offense that's new, you got all kinds of new stuff going on, and if the boys keep learning and the boys keep working, you might have a playoff team. Maybe.
We hope so. We're going to take it one game at a time. But
hope is it. That's right. So my X's and O's this week, Coach, because last week it was pouring down rain. When you got a team that wants to throw the ball a little bit, pouring down rain is hard. So the effects of weather. Mm-hmm. And you went in against a team that had a running back that was exceptionally good from what I hear, and you shut down the run. So then they had to throw the ball, right?
Yep.
And weather changes games. But I just want people to understand, like, if you want to volunteer and you want to help Coach Duke and you got some speedy legs and you want to be like a ball guy and you want to dry off the balls in so many aspects of football, and at the high school level you only have so many balls that you're working with, and then if they get wet they're done, and then you don't have any balls, and then you can't throw the ball, and then everything that you game plan for changed because of the weather. Mm-hmm. And I just want people to understand that whether it's kicking a ball, snapping a ball, throwing a ball, holding a ball, it's very, very hard. You get to the NFL level, they got new balls all the time. Mm-hmm. It's constantly. But in high school, we got to pay for them. We don't have a lot of them. We got them in trash bags, running around trying to keep them dry. It's a tough thing. And I think just in the X's and O's of football, there's so many things that go into football. I just thought that was something neat to talk about. And so you can say whatever you want, or you can say
it's one of those things, especially in our state. We're going to play in wet games. We know that. We practice with wet balls. We try to at least once a week where, we're catching and throwing and handing it off and kicking wet balls. That's really important so you get used to it, so it's not the first time on Friday. You never know what the weather's going to do, especially this early on in our state. And then it can drastically change the game. Some of the unsung heroes for Friday's game were our ball boys, and we have a couple brothers of our varsity players that are in middle school that did an incredible job. I mean, they were running around drying balls, using towels. You could put a ball in a bucket with cat litter to dry it quick. There's different things you can do to try to make sure you get a new ball in every play when you're on offense, so that ball's just not saturated and soaked. So, we had a couple turnovers that were due to possibly having the wet ball, but you got to just focus that much more on detail of catching a ball, looking it in, protecting the ball in traffic when you're running with it. I remember talking to our quarterback and asking about one ball, and he said, "Coach, it just slipped." That happens. You want to take your gloves off. Okay, you don't want gloves on when it's wet and rainy like that. So if you're a receiver or DB that likes to wear gloves, those need to go off because those can get slick. You don't want to have any of the visors on, the clear visors, because next thing you know, the rain and it gets smeared and you can't see. So there's things from equipment that you got to change. There's things from a execution standpoint that you got to change. And then it's really a team effort of trying to get the driest ball in possible. And I thought as the game went on, our ball boys did an incredible job. So hats off to those guys, and we celebrated them after the game. But yeah, you're right. It changes a lot of things. But you know what? We do know this. It's not just changes for us. It changes for them as well. So it's an equal playing field. But you try to prepare for it. You try to practice it. You make sure your equipment's right. And you make sure your strategies that you're using to get dry balls in as fast as you can are something that you're prepared for. This whole game is about preparation. And sometimes you think you're prepared.
Coach doesn't know what I bring in here. He doesn't know what I bring in here.
I do not.
60 seconds of mentorship today. What does that say?
Preparation. Wow.
Preparation. It says it. It's just what it is. We think alike maybe sometimes.
No doubt.
Next up, Coach, number one fan questions. Our number one fan, I got to get my phone out because he sends me like essays. So he's got a couple questions for you. And I appreciate him because he helps me with content. He's a good guy. This is, I think we're gonna combine this with the Eagle family facts because I don't know, I think there's some discord in this that he's trying to promote. I don't know. Okay, here we go. If Troy and UCF had played when Coach EJ and Coach Jameson attended, what would have happened first? Jameson getting blown up by EJ and giving up a sack, or Jameson manhandling EJ to open a massive hole for a running back to go on a 50-yard TD scamper?
Well, I'll tell you this. They both played on teams that were really good. When Coach Jameson was at Troy, I remember they came down to Tallahassee and almost beat Florida State. And I remember they played LSU extremely well. I mean, they were talented. They had some really good years. And, of course, EJ at UCF was the year they went to the Sugar Bowl and beat Baylor. And
Fiesta.
I mean, Fiesta, that's right. That's right. The Fiesta Bowl and beat Baylor. And so, I mean, it was part of a unbelievable team. So I think both teams are really talented. I haven't studied their film from when they were in college. They both are really good players. I'm glad that they're both on our staff coaching our offensive line and defensive line. So I'm not going to answer that question. That's a loaded question by this number one fan.
He's a politician.
I know he is.
Politicians they're always, that was a pretty good political answer too. That's what he was trying to get out of you. I think maybe he's grooming you. He's trying to create, maybe he's trying to turn you into a politician.
No, sir.
Okay. Next up, how many bad calls has Coach Mark Duke made in his Edgewater career?
0. And I tell the guys all the time, if they make a bad call, it's because I got to be the one that final approves it. So
okay.
It'll always follow me.
That's another leadership, that's it. Okay, next up, would you rather, I like would you rather questions. Would you rather start Coach Mark Duke at QB in his prime or Coach Herm Edwards at QB in his prime?
Well, I'll tell you what. So this past week, Coach Mark's been running scout team quarterback. We're playing a team that's going to throw it, and I think Coach likes to get up back there and throw it and does well. They can coordinate the offensive line and kind of run the scout team while playing quarterback. And he threw a couple dimes this week. But,
okay.
If you talk to anybody that watched Coach Herm play here, man.
Can I get a time? What's it mean to throw a dime?
A really good pass. You've heard the word dime.
Yeah, like a coin, okay?
Okay, but a dime.
Like throw it like on a small coin.
Sure.
Like throw it on a dime.
Throw it on a dime. Dime is beautiful, perfect pass.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense to me now. But it's the smallest coin that we have. So throwing something on a dime.
Well, then people say the word dime piece.
Right.
You've ever heard of that? I mean, I think my wife's a dime piece.
Really? I've never heard that.
You never heard that?
No.
That means a very attractive female.
Really? Okay.
So the word dime, it has a lot of positive meaning behind it. I can't believe you never heard that.
I've never heard that. I have a thing. I like to take pictures of Coach Duke and make memes, and I'm gonna make one with the word dime in it. Are you the dime of College Park?
No.
The dime piece of College Park. Okay, moving on.
So Coach Herm, back to the question. Okay. Coach Herm was a great multi-sport athlete here at Edgewater. Then went off and played college football at Murray State and actually played arena football. And played multiple positions. Was a quarterback, and then I think he played some receiver and defensive back at the next level, and then in the arena league as well. So, having Coach Herm and I think I would take him. Coach Mark played receiver and was a really good one, and also played baseball, so he's got a good arm. But I think if in the question, I'm thinking I'm taking Coach Herm. But Coach Mark did play scout team quarterback this week. Did a heck of a job.
That's cool. I got an arm like a snake. I can't throw a ball for nothing. My arm will go further than the ball. I promise you. Okay, last one. Have you ever, in your entire life in relationship, seen Coach Holohan mad?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I know I didn't get that question either.
Yeah.
I see him. He gets hot. He turns red.
Oh yeah, his voice changes.
When he says "good for you" every once in a while.
Yeah, his voice goes a lot deeper.
Yeah, he does.
Plenty of times.
Sometimes he'll go out in the hallway just looking for it. Like he'll just go out there. All right, next week we got more from him, but that's what we got. Preparation. We already talked a little bit about it, Coach. You want to add something to preparation for 60 seconds of mentorship, or are you good?
I'm good. It's just that's what the game of football is about. People don't, it's a game where you play 10 games a year. You don't play it year round. It's the only sport that you play one game a week. You think of basketball and baseball and lacrosse, and they play multiple games during a week. You play one game a week with football. You don't play it past the fall, because of the physicality of the game. So, practice, preparation, that is what football is all about, to be able to execute on Friday night. I had this conversation with our team this week. Preparation, day in and day out, is the name of the game in this sport.
Got it. Moving on. Cruising with Coach. I promise you this week we're moving on to another one of Tom Cruise and the King of College Park's favorite movies. It's Jerry Maguire. So I gave you your lines, of course. You are Jerry Maguire. I chose one that I think is funny. I could also play the part of Dorothy if you'd like in another line. And shut up, just shut up. You had me at hello. You had me at hello. That one I have too, but we're going to do a different one, okay? So I'm going to play the part of Ray in Jerry Maguire. Ray was that cute little guy, remember, wore the glasses.
Show me the money. No, Ray was the
little cute guy that wore the glasses.
Okay,
no,
the kid.
Yeah, show me the money. I almost did that one too, where I can't remember the character's name, but Jerry Maguire is his agent, and he says, say show me the money, and I got Bob Sugar on the phone. He'll say show me the money, and then he makes him yell it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I almost did that one too. This one's a little more fun. They're riding in the car, Ray's in the back seat, and I'm gonna play Ray. Did you know that the human head weighs 8 pounds?
Did you know that Troy Aikman in only 6 years has passed for 6,303 yards?
16,303 yards. Did I write it wrong?
16,303 yards.
Oh, we're going to start over, okay? Get in character, Coach. Ready? Did you know that the human head weighs 8 pounds?
Did you know that Troy Aikman in only 6 years has passed for 16,303 yards?
Did you know that bees and dogs can smell fear?
Did you know that the career record for hits is 4,256 by Pete Rose, who is not in the Hall of Fame?
Did you know my next door neighbor has 3 rabbits?
I can't compete with that.
I love that scene. It's awesome. All right, speed option, no first coach's crystal ball. All right, I just love this one. We're going to talk a little more about it, but Colorado, Nebraska, who you got?
Oh, man, we have a player at Nebraska, Tommy Hill, so I'm excited to watch him play. I think he's wearing number 31. Ooh. He played in game 1, had 3 tackles. I thought he played well. But Colorado with a big win at TCU. I'm a Deion Sanders fan. I am. And I think he's going to go find a way. It's at home. I'm pulling for Tommy Hill to have a huge game, but I think Colorado wins.
All right, Texas A&M, Miami.
Miami's got a new offensive coordinator. Texas A&M's got a new offensive coordinator as well with Jimbo Fisher. Where is that game? Do you know?
I don't know, but I probably wrote it down in order. So
I think it's in Texas. So
okay.
I'm going to go with A&M with the win.
All right, Alabama, Texas.
We got another young man at Texas named C.J. Baxter who played really well in game one. Had to go out of the game, but I feel like he's going to have a chance to come back this week. I'm pulling for the upset. Longhorns get it done in Tuscaloosa.
All right, Longhorns in Tuscaloosa. I saw Alabama's quarterback. He looks like he's a D lineman. He's a pretty big guy. All right, speed option, coach. Couple quick questions. This week, Shedeur Sanders, 300 yards, over or under?
Over.
Deion Sanders appears in 3 commercials during his team's own game. Over, under. Not the same one. Not like 3 Aflac. Like he's in the Aflac one. He's in like the pistachio one.
Yeah.
Like
under.
Okay.
He's locked in.
Over, under on this season. Travis Hunter from the University of Colorado having 1,000 plays on the field.
So I think he had like 129 on
week 1.
On week 1. So I'm going to say under.
Okay, under. You think he'll win the Heisman?
I think he's one of the guys that is definitely in the conversation. There's this quarterback in Tallahassee who I think is number 1 right now.
All right, Colorado wins 9 games.
That'll be an unbelievable year. I think they won 1 last year. So I think they win 9. I'm pulling for them to win 9. That's kind of a heart bet, but I'm pulling for them to win 9.
You see, my theme here right now is this is about entertainment. And Deion Sanders in Colorado are bringing entertainment. Mm-hmm. I mean, football's about winning games, but if people ain't watching and if people ain't interested, they ain't got nothing without the fans. And that's why we come and talk to you every week. Okay, I like this question because I was really surprised. Deion Sanders, prime time, his personality, you think about Deion, right? And I think about him as being this kind of flashy guy, but I think there's more to him. I think he's very, very calculated. I think he's very strong. And University of Colorado had very, very few penalties in the game that they played. So this week, Coach, West Orange Warriors are coming to town. Colorado's playing Nebraska. Who will have less penalty yards, Edgewater High School or Colorado?
Edgewater High School.
All right.
Discipline week.
Let's see. Predicted score for the FSU Colorado hypothetical bowl game in the BCS, whatever they want to call it, playoffs.
I don't think, well, if they had a hypothetical matchup, I think Florida State, just with their offensive and defensive line, is at a pretty elite level this year, which is where you win games. So I would say 42-21 Florida State.
42-21?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, last one. Right now, would you take Deion Sanders at FSU? Would you put him in the portal and transfer him to be a head coach? Deion.
I mean, I'm a big Deion Sanders fan. People that know anything about his work ethic, what he's done as a player. I mean, there's so many things. We see the flash and all that. Like you said, there's a lot more to Coach Prime. But you can't, I mean, what Coach Norvell's been able to do through the mess that he inherited coming in during COVID and each year progressing and then having a big, huge win week 1 against LSU and how they performed. No, you gotta, you don't make that switch at the moment. And Coach Norvell and his staff have done a heck of a job and trending all in the right direction.
All right, Coach, that's it. Show me the money this week, right? West Orange Warriors, got to beat them 3-0, 1 game at a time. That's all I got.
We need you there. It's going to be a big one. So get out to the game if you can, and we look forward to College Park. They're going to travel well, but what an opportunity for us to play an Orange County team, a bigger school here at home. So
that's right.
Eagle
pride.